I'm quitting alcohol. So I'm back on it. I'm back on the pumpkin. I fucking had a roast chicken a few weeks back, and for the veggies, I was like, let's get some pumpkin. Let's get some fucking potatoes, some carrots, some cauliflower, some fucking pumpkin. I thought I had the pumpkin under control, but I don't. I'm a fucking addict. I completely forgot I ate so much fucking pumpkin I turned yellow because I was in India for a year and I didn't eat any pumpkin at all. It just wasn't the fucking same. It was like the cocaine over there. It sucked. Just not even worth eating the fucking pumpkin. So I have this fucking roast, and as soon as the pumpkin hits my lips, I'm like, I'm back. This is going to be a fucking problem now. Then like a few days later, I'm like, we should have a roast again. I'll go down and get a pumpkin. So I went down and got a full pumpkin. I'm just using the roast as a fucking decoy now, just to eat pumpkin. So I fucking cut up like half a pumpkin, eat the whole fucking thing with my dinner. There was still half a pumpkin left. Then I went to Melbourne. I came back and my wife hadn't put it in the fridge. I go to the pumpkin because I was just frothing the pumpkin on the fucking plane. I'm like, as soon as I get home, I'm eating that fucking half pumpkin. I don't give a shit. But I get home and it's completely fucking rotten. So I go off my head like she's just flushed my stash down the drain. I jump in the car. I fucking floor it to the closest supermarket. Get a quarter pumpkin. It was fucking $3.50 a kilo. When I'm buying the full pumpkins, which is how you should buy them, you're getting it at 99 cents a kilo. And it's not pre-cut. It's just a full, fresh fucking pumpkin. So all the juices are still in there. It really fucking gets you going. So I smashed the quarter of a pumpkin. The next day I drive down, buy a new full pumpkin. I can't remember what I was going down to the shops for. It was something, but the only thing I came back with was a full pumpkin. My wife's like, you were meant to get nappies for the baby. I'm like, fucking what? I thought you said go get a full pumpkin. So I smashed that, and I'm not even using the roast as a fucking excuse now. I'm just pumpkin in the oven, smeared in butter, roast the shit out of it, a few potatoes as well. A few carrots too. Just fucking lighting that shit up and just smashing it. And then today, I made enough pumpkin for like 3 days. You know how when you're like in the middle of an addiction, you just incrementally go up, and the next thing you know, you're fucking railing lines the size of a fucking baby's arm. Well, I'm incrementally cutting the fucking pumpkin a little bit bigger each time. And today it was just like, there was so much fucking pumpkin. I'm like, this will be enough for like at least today and tomorrow, and maybe even the next day. But once I tasted that sweet, sweet orange nectar, I couldn't fucking stop myself, and I ate, it must have been 1.5 kilos of pumpkin. Plus some carrots and a bunch of potatoes. But the carrots are going to be the fucking thing that fucks me as well, because I was just eating pumpkin last time I turned yellow. This time I've got a taste for pumpkin and carrots too. So that's going to be the double carotene fucking OD. It sounds like I'm fucking having a little joke here, doesn't it? But I am actually worried about the fucking pumpkin. When I turned yellow last time, it took about 2 months for the fucking yellow to fade away. But I legitimately don't even feel like eating anything other than pumpkin right now. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. I don't want to eat fruit. I don't want to eat fucking kebabs or souvlaki's. I don't want to eat burritos. I just want to eat fucking pumpkin. It's like a mouthful of everything all at once. Like you've got the buttery taste, the roasted butter. Oh, that's beautiful just by itself. Then on top of that, you can sprinkle a little bit of salt. You don't need it with pumpkin. Pumpkin's just delicious by itself. But a little bit of butter, a little bit of salt, and then just the texture when you do it right, but the sweetness. It's like this understated sweetness. It's not overpowering. It just lulls you into more. If you didn't turn fucking yellow when you eat too much fucking pumpkin, I would just eat it all the time. I don't know what I'm going to do about it this time either. It's probably going to take me turning yellow again for me to stop. And I'm fucking smashing like 3 or 4 carrots as well, so it's going to be fucking pretty soon. Anyway, enough with my problems. I was speaking to a listener, not yesterday, the day before. I was actually going through my messages to see if I'd replied to everyone, because I try and get back to everyone. And somehow I'd missed her. She sent me a message like 6 months ago. So I'm like, hey, sorry, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we get talking, and then she goes, By the way, you should start hooking up people through your podcast. It's really hard to find someone to date who doesn't drink, especially when you're 26 and live in Finland. And I'm like, yes, this is what we need. This was one of my original plans. I was going to start like a fucking sober Tinder. And the algorithm is me. No one's getting hooked up. You're not finding each other unless it goes through me. But it all got fucking swept up, lost in translation when I was in India, whatever the fuck happened. You know, life happens and you forget shit sometimes. But now I've got time to refocus and this has just come at the perfect fucking time. So, we've got a sober 26-year-old chick in Finland and she can't find anyone. Now, there's probably like 3 or 4 other people listening in Finland, probably 60-year-old dudes married with grandchildren and shit. So they're probably not going to cut it unless she has some sort of fucking kink. So let's see what we can fucking manufacture here. I know most of you are just fucking degenerates, so that's probably not going to work. But there could be someone listening that's worthy. I looked at her profile. She's hot. She's young. She's sober. She's in Finland, so she probably speaks 7 languages. So we're talking about a real catch here. So what I'm going to get the dudes to do is plead your case. Write in and plead your case. I'm serious. I'm not hooking you up just fucking on a whim. You've got to qualify. So I'm going to put some parameters in. You have to be between... She wouldn't want a younger guy, and you probably want a couple of years. So let's say 28. You got to be between 28 and 70. Actually, let's just fucking open it up. You've got to be between 18 and 90. I don't want to fucking put any hurdles in the way of love. You have to, well, she's pretty hot, so you have to be at least a 5 out of 10. But if you're a fucking 5 out of 10, you better fucking make it up with personality, cunt. You've got to be sober. That's another one. You've got to be sober at least a week. That fucking almost wipes out 99% of the listeners already. So you got to have a full week under your belt. And you can't just start today because you found this out. So what else? You got to be sober. You got to be like a 5 out of 10. You've got to be somewhere between the age of 18 and 90. She's in Finland, so you have to be anywhere in the world, really. It doesn't matter. If you're in Australia, that's fine. If you're in Russia, that's fine. Sweden's right next to Finland, I think. That's fine. England, Ireland, you can fucking fly to Finland. It takes 10 minutes. The world's opened back up. And you don't want to date someone from your own country anyway. That's disgusting. So as long as you're somewhere in the world, you can apply. Send it into boylecomedy@gmail.com. And I think that will do it. Send in your application, lads. Just in the subject line, write in Boyle's First Dates. I'll read out a few of the applications on an episode, and I'll put you in touch with this beautiful 26-year-old Finnish lady, and we'll see if we can't make some fucking magic happen, eh? All right, get them in. Anyway, that will do for tonight. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around, and I'll see you the fuck later.